Well, the Vancouver Park Board Commissioner, Marie-Claire Howard, is being accused of a consistent pattern of absenteeism. The allegation is made in a motion coming before the Park Board on Monday, and it calls for a review of her attendance record and of her eligibility to continue to hold elected office. Well, for more on this, we're joined by Park Board Chair Laura Christensen is with us this morning. Good morning to you, Laura.
Good morning, Stephen.
What does the Vancouver Charter say about attendance records?
So the Vancouver Charter is quite clear about this. So it requires a commissioner to either miss 4 meetings in a row or 60 days, whichever is longer, to be disqualified from holding office.
All right. And where is Commissioner Howard in this?
So Commissioner Howard's missed, since the beginning of 2024, she's missed about 12 meetings, which is 40% of the meetings. 2025, the first half, she's missed 6 out of 10. But what's important to note, she's missed 3 in a row on sort of multiple occasions where she'll miss 3 meetings, she'll attend 1 meeting, miss 3 meetings, attend 1 meeting. But what this motion from Commissioner Bastuvansky is raising is there's been occasions where she's attended 3 meetings, and then on the 4th meeting, she actually only attended part of the meeting. She walked out of the meeting partway through, making it a partial absence because she missed several votes. So the question that Commissioner Bastuvansky is asking is, does that partial absence count as an absence under the charter that would, potentially disqualify her from holding office?
I guess is it fair to say she's, done the bare minimum to hold on to the position?
Yeah, no, I think that's a very fair way to say it. Attending 3 meetings and then missing 3 meetings and then attending 1 on multiple occasions really is the bare minimum under the charter to do this, and it's very unusual behavior to be missing, really any meetings. Most commissioners, they attend all the meetings. Occasionally you miss 1 or 2 if you're ill or you have something, personal come up. But the charter has a method to address those, which is you request a leave of absence. So, either the meeting before, or you can, inform the board, but you can request a leave of absence to say, I'm unable to be here. And that, excuses your absence under the charter and wouldn't disqualify you. So if Commissioner Howard had, legitimate reasons to not attend meetings, she could have requested a leave of absence, but she hasn't. So, this is very unusual behavior from a commissioner to be doing this, to be missing 3 meetings, attending 1, missing 3 meetings. But, she's still collecting a full paycheck from the city. She's, still a commissioner. So I think it really raises questions of, how can she do this and still remain an elected official?
And when you say a full paycheck, being a park board commissioner is a part-time job, really. What is the stipend that a park board commissioner takes now?
I believe it's about $20,000 a year.
Yeah.
So that's it's a part-time job. It's on paper 10 hours a week.
Yeah, as if.
Yeah, it does often take up more time than that, but on paper it's 10 hours a week. And I'd argue that the meetings are the most important role. We do have other roles where we attend meetings in community. We respond to emails, answer questions, all sorts of stuff like that. But the meetings are really the most important part of our job. That's where decisions are made. That's where you're really exercising your duty as an elected official to be making those decisions. So to be missing so many meetings, when you're missing 40% of meetings, that's like you not showing up to work 2 days a week out of the week.
Commissioner Howard sent a statement to CBC News, she says her absences were for personal reasons and do not meet the threshold for disqualification. She says this discussion, the one we're having right now, is a waste of taxpayer dollars and reflects recurring dysfunction by the park board. How do you respond to that?
So, if you're talking about a waste of taxpayer dollars, I think paying her paycheck for her not attending meetings is a waste of taxpayer dollars. Do I think that we should be spending a ton of money on this? No. But really, I think there needs to be more scrutiny on commissioners' attendance on this. This has been going on since the beginning of 2024, this poor attendance, and really there's been no mechanism for us to sort of reprimand her or encourage her to improve her attendance on this. And really, people haven't been paying attention. The media hasn't, and the public is just unaware of the situation. So, I think there's definitely a need for more oversight on this. With respect to dysfunction, the park board's running just fine without her. We're still making decisions. We're still getting things done. This is not a story about dysfunction of the park board. This is a single commissioner who isn't taking her job seriously.
I guess it begs the question, why would one run for elected office if you have no interest in performing the duties of that office?
That's a great question that I would love Commissioner Howard to answer. And hopefully she'll answer that on Monday about why she's decided to remain elected when she's not really doing her job anymore.
Um, and this motion comes from Commissioner Bastiovansky, and the motion says that Commissioner Howard is in breach of Section 144 of the Vancouver Charter. Is that the section that deals with absenteeism?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Switching gears, there's another Park Board story that's been in the news this week. And on Tuesday, Park Board Commissioner Tom Digby told us that the Harry Potter winter event in Stanley Park should be reviewed. We've had concerns related to J.K. Rowling's views about trans people. Commissioner Digby told us that that the question of J.K. Rowling's views about trans people never came up during a Park Board meeting on this. Is that true?
I don't think it was flagged as a major issue at the time when we were discussing it. Really, the focus of the discussions at the time had been, we were all very disappointed that the train wasn't able to run, that we weren't able to host Bright Nights. And we were in a situation where we were trying to bring some sort of, fun and festivities to this otherwise, unused space of the park. And that was really the focus of the conversation, was about how can we bring some fun to families when we aren't able to run the train.
And how did you settle on this Harry Potter deal then?
It was brought as an opportunity. This is an opportunity to bring in something that I know, despite the concerns, the sort of story of Harry Potter is something that a lot of families and kids appreciate. So we were hoping to bring some fun back to the park when the train isn't able to run.
And was it something that staff brought to you then?
Yeah, so this was a report from a proposal that came through staff to the park board.
All right. And did staff talk about what the cost would be for a family to attend?
I believe there was some costs suggested. I can't remember exactly what the costs at the time that they had suggested were. Yeah, we understand that it's quite a bit more expensive than the train. But their sort of, I guess, business analysis was that there would still be demand for an event like that.
Right. And this is not a fundraiser, obviously. This is a commercial venture with Warner Brothers and another events company.
Yeah, it is important to note that this is bringing in revenue for the park board, which then goes to help fund many of the services that we provide. So
Right.
whether that's subsidized swim lessons or maintaining our facilities, that revenue, wherever it comes from, helps to support the park board operations.
And
Which right now, given the financial situation with the need from city council to keep the tax cuts at 1%, really means that the park board is facing service cuts right now. So we're really in a situation where we're trying to get every little bit of revenue that we can so that we don't have to cut services for the public.
and what did staff suggest to you you could get by way of revenue for hosting this event?
I don't think I'm able to share the financials, unfortunately. That's in camera, but it's not an insignificant amount of money for the park board to be hosting this event. It will help our bottom line in terms of maintaining services for the coming year.
And what's the cost to the park board for bringing the event in?
There's no cost to the park board. This is a revenue positive event, and we're talking about dollars and cents. This is doesn't cost the park board anything to put this event on. This is something that is bringing in revenue to the park board.
All right. We will leave it there this morning, Commissioner. Thank you very much for the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, take care. That is Laura Christensen, the chair of the Vancouver Park Board.